And a good evening from District 3 Stadium in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's time for the 2015 IWFL Championship game featuring the Utah Falconz, who come in with a record of 7-0, and the Pittsburgh Passion, the defending champions of the IWFL, who come in with a record of 9-0. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Shima. Glad to take you through this championship game. From kickoff to trophy presentation, we'll be with you all night long. As you see, pretty good crowd on hand. Pittsburgh always traveling well. Not bad over on the far side as well, as Utah bringing in a lot of people today too. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, folks. Pittsburgh advancing once again, defeating Carolina in the East. 41-12 last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago, and the Utah Falconz blowing away the Madison Blaze 73-0. Utah is in its second season. Pittsburgh is the stalwart. They've been around for quite a while, and they have multiple championships. Outside this league, they won one in 2007. They also won, as I mentioned, last year. It'll be Amy Fallon who will kick off for the Passion, as Pittsburgh won the toss and deferred to the second half. Back to receive Chris Thomasberg for the Falconz, as well as Keisha Cox. Keep an eye on Keisha Cox, folks. She is one of the fastest in the game, and it's going to bounce to her at about the 24-yard line. There's Cox at the 35-40, 45-50. Defender falls down, 45-40, 35-30, 20-10. Gone. Touchdown, Utah Falconz. Keisha Cox motoring. And an early statement from the upstart team in its second season. The Utah Falconz take a 6-0 lead. Well, I was all set to tell you about Keisha Cox, the running back, who averaged 34 yards per run. I guess I can talk a little bit about Keisha Cox, the kick returner. As Cox, that's actually, as far as stats go on the website, her first return. And it went for 76 yards. So they're going to go for two now. The handoff goes to number 20, that's Keisha Cox again, and she's in. So that was fast. 8-0 Utah out to the quick lead. And now it'll be Pittsburgh's turn to answer. Well, I think Utah really wanted to come out strong. The second-year team. Both of these teams, by the way, are undefeated over the last 2 years. As you get a look at the happy, for the moment at least, Utah fans. So both of these teams undefeated in the last couple of seasons. Pittsburgh coming in with a 21-game win streak. That dates back to April 12th, 2014. And Utah has never lost. They started last year. They've gone 17-0. Kim Beaver's going to return for the Passion. And it's going to be Emmy Rainey who will kick it off for the Falconz. So a fast start to this championship game. Folks, you see the hashtag there on your scoreboard, IWFL. Use it on Twitter. Let us know where you're watching from. I understand there's a bar in Utah that's packing people here tonight. Love to see some pictures of any watch parties that's going on Twitter. Feel free to use them. We'll share them during the broadcast as well. Give you a shout out as well. So the kick by Rainey, and that's going to land at about the 18-yard line. Good run by Beaver, and she's going to be taken down at about the 38-yard line, so that is where Pittsburgh will start. Set the lineup, the linemen, left tackle Burris, the guard Niedermeyer on the left side, Horek, the center for Pittsburgh, on the right side, the guard Ferragonio, and the tackle is Drashelik. The receivers, Wadowski and Baker, Horton the quarterback, Kimbrough and Catone are the two who will run it the most for Pittsburgh. Horton is the most decorated women's quarterback in the history of the game. Horton over 1,000 passing yards this season. She's in the shotgun with trips to her left. Horton going to go on the reverse at the 40 and taking it up to the 44-yard line. That's Baker on the carry. So Angela Baker with a good pickup. Lorette Cooper getting there, one of the DBs for the Falcons. Second down and 5 now for the Passion at the 44-yard line. Again, it's Horton. Trips to the left side. Now the tight end in motion. That was Horton. It's going to be handed off. Catone, big run into Utah Falcons territory, and she'll be stopped down at the 47-yard line. Now they're going to mark her at the 46. Two different officials gave a different marker, but it is the 46. That's what they're going with. First down and 10. So again, it's Horton in the shotgun. Lone back Catone behind her. I believe it's Baker in motion. Quick pass, and that goes nowhere, swarming the defense for the Falcons. So Vasquez loses a couple. Danielle Music making the tackle. How about this? We've got Trevor Martin giving us a shout out on Twitter. Guess where he's watching from? Kent, England. Who says they don't like American football in England? Thanks for watching across the pond, Trevor. So it's a second down now and about 4. Horton bunches the receivers on the near side. Single receiver on the far side. It's thrown to her, and it's caught. Is that Wadowski? It is Wadowski, and she's all the way into the red zone at the 18-yard line. So Pittsburgh moving the ball well. Now, folks, these two teams combined average about 100 points per game. They're both very good defensively, but there is some good offense out on this field here today. This time it's double receivers to each side of Horton here. First down and 10. Ball at the 18. In motion, the tight end Sullivan, now on the far side. The handoff, Catone. Catone cuts it to the right, and a minimal gain on first down. Looks like getting there was Abby Burns. Correction, Sam Taylor for Utah. Also there, Lindy Pressgard. Just underway. Rock Hill, South Carolina, 87 degrees. They took the temperature in the dead of the heat earlier today on the field. It was 156 degrees. I don't think it's quite that hot now, but it's still not comfortable. Especially, I would think Utah is probably less familiar with this kind of heat. I've lived in that part of the country. It's not as warm as you'd think. Horton again. The slant, it's caught. That's number 8, Vasquez. And she's going to be stopped just inside the 1-yard line. First and goal, Pitt Passion. Akala with the stop to save the touchdown, but it's first down and 10, and for the first time in this drive, Horton under center now. It's handed off to Catone. Catone, first effort, no. Second effort is good. And we're a 2-pointer away from tying this game up as Pittsburgh gets on the board thanks to a 1-yard run by Catone. So they're going to send in Amy Fallon to kick the extra point. Pittsburgh's one of the few teams with a traditional kicker on their roster. Amy Fallon, 35 out of 37 on extra points during the season. Snap's good, kick is good. And it's an 8-7 ball game, so we got a barn burner starting here in this championship. 11:20 to go in the first quarter. It's Utah 8, Pittsburgh 7. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. 2015 IWFL Championship. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Quick kick by Fallon. It's going to be handled by an up man, Squaros. Squaros is going to be tackled at the 41-yard line. So we get our first look now at the Utah offense. We'll set their lineup. On the left side of the offensive line, Magnum is the tackle, Crook the guard, Wesley the center, Crossland the right guard, and the tackle on the right side is Lofton. Three-back set for the quarterback, Bean, for the Utah offense. Squaros, number 5. Tella is the fullback, and Cox, always a threat. Cox just 10 rushes on the season, but she's got 344 yards, and you saw her burst on that 76-yard kickoff return. The handoff, and it's going to be kept by Bean, and Bean gets ahead for about 2 yards. The interesting thing to see with this Utah offense is they don't have quite the size that Pittsburgh has, but they've got so much speed. So a 2nd and 8 now. Utah will run the veer option out of a wing T look. That's what you're seeing on your screen. Again, 3 backs, Tella behind the quarterback, Bean. Now in motion, Squaros. It's going to be handed off to the fullback, Tella. Tella bulldozes her way into Pittsburgh territory, and a 9-yard pickup, first down, ball at the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. Griswold made the play for the Passion, but it's a first down now for Utah. Utah doesn't throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. They've got a good passing attack if they need. We saw them warming up, and they've got some hurlers on this team. It's handed off now to Cox. Cox at the 45. Cox looking to break outside, taken down at the 41-yard line after a pickup of 7. And she is taken down by number 41, Kim Beaver, who will also see a lot of on special teams for Pittsburgh. 5 minutes into the championship game, both offenses are doing work here. Bean. The handoff goes to Tella. Tella again dragging defenders for the first down all the way to the 33-yard line. Tella, 13 carries on the season, 17.4 yards per rush. Here's what you have to understand about the Utah offense and the stats that I mentioned. When I say Cox has 10 carries, when I say Tella has 13 carries in 7 games, it doesn't sound like a whole lot. That's because Utah puts their second string offense in, usually in the first quarter. Here's a throw by Bean. That was intended for Cox, and it got over her head. 2nd down and 10. So, there's about 15 players who have had at least one rush for Utah this season because of that. They've beaten teams so badly this year that their starters are gone usually by the end of the first quarter. Read option now for Bean. Bean is going to pitch it back and tackled down at the 29-yard line is Cox. So it's just inside the 30. And about 6 to pick up this first down for the Falconz. Bean sending, there's a fumble on the play. Players diving for it, and it's Pittsburgh's football. Oh, a big turnover by Utah, and the Passion are going to get it back. I believe it was Squaros on the run. It's recovered by Zabovic. Kimberly Zabovic recovers the fumble. First turnover of the game. Belongs to Pittsburgh, as you see their fans stand and cheer. Nearing the midway point of this first quarter. If you're just joining us, Keisha Cox took the kickoff, 76 yards. Keisha Cox also ran for the two-pointer for Utah. Then Pitt answered right back. Catone with a 1-yard touchdown run. Quick throw now by Horton. Horton gets it ahead to the receiver out to the 38-yard line. That was Catone on the reception. So ball at the 38, call it second down and 4. Horton in the shotgun, 3 receivers to her left, single back Catone, and 1 receiver to the right. Horton looking to the right, and a nice pass by Horton to Wadowski, who picks up the catch and the first down near midfield for Pittsburgh at the 48 is where they're going to spot it. Jordan Willis made the tackle for Utah. Horton again, 1st and 10. Utah showing blitz, now they back off. The slant again, it's caught near the first down marker. It's going to be an 8-yard pickup. And that was Catone again. So Catone with her second reception here on this drive. Past the midway point here in the first quarter, the 2015 IWFL Championship game. Horton again with 3 receivers to the far side. The lone receiver, Wadowski, on the near side of your screen. Second down and 2. The option goes to Kimbrough, and Kimbrough lost it. Fumble on the play, back-to-back turnovers as the Falconz fall on it. It's Sam Taylor who making the big play, and Utah recovers a fumble of its own. 6:53 left to go here in the first quarter. Utah will get the ball when we come back. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game live from Rock Hill. Hiroshima, glad to be back with you here in South Carolina. In motion is Cox. Cox gets the run out to the 45-40, right past the defense. Keisha Cox is gone again. 52 yards, Keisha Cox. Now up to 128 all-purpose yards as Cox with another touchdown run. That's her 8th of the season. And Utah goes up 14-7 with the extra point to come. So back-to-back fumbles, and now it's a 2-point play here again for Utah. Bean is under center. The pitch to Cox. Cox, good blocking on the far side. Credit Rainey with the block as Cox gets in for the easy 2. 16-7, Utah out to a 9-point advantage. 6:43 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back. Chris Sheeman back here in Rock Hill. 16-7, Utah out to a 9-point lead here in the championship game. These two undefeated teams, not only this season, but the last 2 seasons. It looks like Ware is going to kick for the Falcons, so Memory Ware to kick. Beaver is back for this Passion. That pass, or that kick, I should say, bounces at the 11. And it's handled by Angela Baker. Baker took it about 5 yards and a flag down on the play. So a face mask is the call on Utah. And I believe that's the first flag of the game. You don't get to this point undefeated over 2 seasons by being sloppy. So our first flag of the game. And that's going to move Pittsburgh into better range. They're going to start at their own 32-yard line now. Horton in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. The lone back is Catone. Horton, 26 touchdowns this season, throws another rocket. And that's caught, and all the way up to the 47-yard line. It was Wadowski again on the reception. Hard to see those yellow jersey numbers with the sun right in our face here. But we'll do the best we can. So a first down now, near midfield. Horton. Quick toss. On the near side, it's Baker. Baker escapes one defender and gets just past midfield, dragged down, and a late flag comes down from the backfield. And they're pointing at Utah. So Music made the stop. Did she do the face mag? No, it's a targeting penalty called on Utah. So Utah is shooting itself in the foot. We talked to head coach Rick Rasmussen earlier in the week, and he talked about his team being very disciplined. Not on this drive. 2 15-yarders has Pittsburgh in golden territory. First down and 10 at the 44 of Utah now for the Passion. Inside 6 to play here in this first quarter. It's Horton again in the shotgun. The handoff to Catone. Catone cuts it to the right, looking to go back inside, and she's smacked down by Jordan Willis. Call it a gain of 2. Second down and 8, ball at the Utah 32. Well, you really couldn't have 2 more contrasting styles of play on display between these 2 teams. It's old school against new school, I guess. The spread against the old option. Horton empties the backfield, facing some pressure, throws another rocker. It's caught again. It's Wadowski again, and it's another first down. Right at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, once again for Pittsburgh. First one to 80 is going to win this one, folks. 4:45 left to go. This has been fun to watch, hasn't it? Lisa Horton set a team record for touchdowns this year with 26. Top-rated quarterback in the IWFL. 124.8 is her rating. I can't even count that high. Horton again with Catone, the lone back. Moves to the left. Horton on the rollout to the left, looking for the end zone. She's got, well, there were two receivers in the area. It was intended for Baker. I believe Wadowski was there, and good defense by Chris Thomasberg for Utah to break up that pass. 2nd down and 10 now for Pittsburgh. The Steel City fans, a disciplined group, they know when to be quiet and when to cheer. Right now they're quiet. Here's the handoff. Catone driving to the right. Now cuts it back inside at the 15-10. Bowls over 2 defenders, and she's knocked down at the 13-yard line. How about Catone? Catone set a team record herself this year with 1,063 rushing yards. This is her first season, by the way. She's one of the few players who's not a veteran for Pittsburgh. More on that later on. 2 receivers to the far side and all kinds of movement. False start's going to be called on Pittsburgh. 3:48 left to go here in the quarter. It'll be now a 1st and 15. So they're backed up now. 1st and goal at the 13-yard line. Horton, 2 receivers to the far side. Catone the lone back. The snap from Horak and the throw into the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown by Wadowski, but we have flags on the play. So Wadowski possibly with a 13-yard touchdown reception. And the touchdown is good. So the penalty on Utah, and Wadowski and Horton help Pittsburgh right back in it. We'll see if they send out Amy Fallon. They will go for 2 here to try to tie this, or to get within 1, excuse me. So it's Horton in the shotgun. Catone goes in motion to the near side. Looking for Baker. Now Baker, and that pass is batted down. 16-13, Utah with a 3-point lead here in the championship game. 3:12 left to go here in the quarter. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you as Fallon getting set to kick it away. Let's get that graphic out of the way. On one hop, going to her knee, picking it up, I believe that is Thomasberg, and Thomasberg is taken down at the 27-yard line. So first down and 10 now for the Falcons. Falcons leading it 16-13. Beaver came up with the stop on special teams for the Pitt Passion. Utah Falcons with a Z, by the way. Second only to the Rocky Mountain Thundercats in total offense per game, the leading rushing team in the league with 335 yards on the ground per game. Keisha Cox, as I mentioned, 34.4 yards per carry coming in. Scored a touchdown, according to head coach Rick Rasmussen, on about 50% of her touches, and she's about at that average here today. It's Bean. In motion, it's Cox. Cox cuts back. Cox able to break off 2 tackles. Can she get away from a third? Yes, at the 30, 35, 40. And finally, forced out of bounds. And they're going to mark her short of the 40, it looks like a little bit, at the 39-yard line. I don't think we've seen her yet, by the way, but I do want to mention Hiroko Jolly, one of the tackles for the Falcons, who is the owner of the team. Handoff goes to Squaros, and she is stuffed back behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of about 1. Griswold getting herself a tackle for loss for the Passion. I've been to both of these cities. Utah is located in Murray, Utah, technically, but about a 15-minute drive from downtown Salt Lake. Right now it's Bean with a second down and about 11, we'll call it. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Bean, and 2 players were moving there, and that spells trouble for Utah. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty on the false start, and make it now about a 2nd and 16. As they'll be backed up now at the 33-yard line. So third down, and Utah might have to throw a rare pass here. Of course, when you have Cox out there, who knows? 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Thomasburg on the near side of your screen. The handoff goes to number 8, Abby Burns. Burns is going to be tackled down for about a gain of 3, well short of the first down, and Utah will be forced to punt. That was 4th down. They had it marked as first down. Now, wait a minute. We've got some confusion. Now it's 2nd down. They had 3rd down on the marker moments ago, and I thought it was wrong, and I didn't say anything about it. Now they're going to have to get together and talk about it. So it's 3rd down now. So correction, it's not 4th down. They've still got it as 2nd down. One of the reporters, I believe, is saying 3rd down. Now we're going to get another stop here. If you're looking for a referee blooper reel, we've had it this weekend. Pittsburgh wants some explanation. Now they've changed it to 3rd down, and you know Rick Rasmussen over on the other side is going to want an explanation. So Harvey Smith one of the head coaches out there with Teresa Kahn for Pittsburgh getting an explanation. Now they changed it back to second. So what do we got here, gentlemen? And I use that term loosely. It's back to second down. If you folks are at the bar in Utah, this is the time to go get a drink. Get one for me. How about wherever we are, let's all take a moment and have a tasty beverage right now. Whatever you choose, doesn't have to be an adult beverage. So they're going with second down. Final answer, even though it's probably wrong. Again, it's Bean under center. In motion is Cox. Bean looking to throw over the middle, and nobody's home. So now it's third down. And it's still third down and long. Third down at about 12 here. Ball at the 36-yard line. Bean, play action. Throws a rocket, and that is almost picked off. Tia Montgomery almost had herself an interception, the linebacker. So after all that, Utah now will be forced to punt. Kim Beaver and Angela Baker are back to receive. This is Rainey with the running punt, and that is going to go out of bounds rugby style, and it's marked inside Utah territory at the 46-yard line. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside, come right back. Welcome back, everybody. Horton back in the shotgun here on first down and 10. Two receivers to each side. Now it's Catone going in motion, gets the handoff, and she is stuffed back in Pittsburgh territory. Lindy Pressgard with the tackle for loss. And that's a loss of 6 now, second down and 16 for Pittsburgh as the first quarter comes to an end. We played 15. It's a barn burner so far, 16-13 Utah after 1. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game from Rock Hill. We'll be back right after this. As we take a look at other games that went on during this championship weekend, Affiliate Bowl, Detroit winning, Carolina over Madison. Back to live action here in the second quarter. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here in Rock Hill. Second down, and 16 now for Horton. Horton facing a host of defenders, able to get it away. Beautiful screen. And that was Baker getting it down back inside Utah territory at the 44-yard line. So a pickup of 8 as Squaros picked up the tackle for Utah. And they're backing him up now, evidently a flag on the play, and it must have been holding. Blocking the back on Pittsburgh. So negate the run. Pittsburgh's moving back even further now. Now they're at their own 43-yard line. So Pittsburgh lining up in the pistol with Catone behind Horton. 2 receivers to the near side. Pump fake, and that is almost picked off. Went through the hands of Thomasburg for the Falcons. So 3rd down and about a quarter of the football field now for Pittsburgh. It's 3rd down and 21 now at the 43-yard line. As you look at the Pittsburgh huddle, Pittsburgh 21-game win streak, 5 Mid-Atlantic Division titles, 3rd in the IWFL with 317 yards per game, top passing attack. And you've seen Horton fire some bullets here in this first half. Horton scrambles, throws, it's caught and dropped. Are they going to rule it a catch and a fumble? Yes, they will. And Utah recovers. So Vasquez made the catch over the middle, got popped, unable to hang on, and Utah comes up with it. So a turnover for the Falcons as you get a look at their bench. Both of these teams reaching this point. Pittsburgh winning the championship last season. Pittsburgh defeated Houston last year 41-7. Also won a championship in 2007. Utah with the lead now, the handoff. That goes to Tella. Tella breaks off the tackle now on the outside. She's taken down inside Pittsburgh territory at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 11 and another Falcons first down. I was talking about, visited both of these cities. Salt Lake City, if you ever want to drive through a beautiful city in the wintertime, Salt Lake City is the place to go. Man, is it pretty in the wintertime. Not much fun to be at the Salt Lake, though, as I found out waiting for my flight. Bean. And that is handed off. Underneath, it's Tella again. A 3-yard pickup up to the 41-yard line. Sabovic making the play for the Passion. Bean on a 2nd and 7. Bean looking to keep it, and she is stuffed. That's a 3-yard loss. And Tia Montgomery making another big hit for the Pitt Passion. So 3rd down and 10. Ball needs to get to the 34-yard line of the Passion. Falcons, 1 receiver to each side. Here is Cox. Cox gets to the outside, 40. Flag is down, and she's taken down short of the marker at the 37-yard line, but let's check the flag. Montgomery again for Pittsburgh. And it looks like the Falcons are backing up, and it's a block in the back. So that makes things more difficult for Utah here. Well, let's see where they're going to spot the ball here. All the way to the 48, so that'll bring up now 3rd and 14. Just underway here in the second quarter. My name's Chris Shima. Glad to be with you for this 2015 championship game. Utah with the football. 3rd down, 14, leading by 3. Cox with both touchdowns for Utah. The handoff goes to Tella, and Tella is stood up. Big play by Hannah Damon for the Passion. That'll bring up 4th down, and it's likely that Utah will punt. Try to pin Pittsburgh deep. So they're going to keep the offense on the field here. It's 4th down and about 13. Bean looking to throw, does so over the middle, and that one is missed the target intended for Squaros. So Pittsburgh will take over on downs, and they're going to have real good field position out near midfield. 11:45 to go here in this second quarter as we get a look at some of the fans from Pittsburgh and parts around that area who have made the trip. Got a little disclaimer for you, Pittsburgh. I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. But don't worry, I love you, Pittsburgh. I'm not a Browns fan. I got more sense than that. Horton, 1st and 10. Catone right up the middle at the 50, now to the 45, and she's tackled there just a little bit short of the 1st down marker. So a 9-yard pickup on 1st down for Pittsburgh, who's moving the ball very well here. We've seen a couple of turnovers, one for each team. Utah, Cox scoring on a 76-yard touchdown return to start the game off. Catone, 1-yard touchdown run, answered back. Handoff again, Catone. Catone started right, now goes left. One missed tackle. Catone at the 35 and tripped up at about the 32-yard line. 2 flags came down during that run. That's enough for a 1st down. Let's check the markers here. And it looks like a block in the back. So that will negate a nice run by Catone. I could hear the people all the way from Pittsburgh booing when I said I was born in Cleveland. It's okay. Who was the penalty on here? All right. They're going to move them back now to about the 46-yard line. Correction, 44-yard line. It's 3rd down and 1 then. And there's some discussion. I believe it should be 2nd down. The Pittsburgh fans know. I'm telling you. Blooper reel right here. 2nd down and 1 now for Pittsburgh as the sarcastic cheer from the Passion fans. You gotta love it. Catone the single back now. 2 receivers to the far side for Pittsburgh, 2 to the near side. bunched up. Now Sullivan in motion. Handoff to Catone. Catone up the middle. First down and then some. Down at the 40-yard line of Utah. So a first down and 10 for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh back in the playoffs for the 8th time in 9 seasons and their 5th straight trip to the postseason, looking for back-to-back championships for the first time in franchise history. Horton looking to the near side, looking for Wadowski and unable to come up with it, and a late flag. Is it going to be pass interference? Myra Kalla, I thought, did a nice job on coverage, but you know, you're allowed to go for the ball if you're a defender. Now they're going to talk about it. Maybe they'll pick it up here. We'll see. 10:23 left to go here in this second quarter. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a break. They're still doing a lot of talking. And they're going to call it. It is pass interference, so Pittsburgh gets the benefit of the call here, and a first down and 10 for the Passion. It looks like it's going to be, where was the foul at? At the 25, they're going to say. Folks, don't forget, we'd love to hear from you during today's broadcast. Use the hashtag on Twitter, IWFL, that you see on your scoreboard. Give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from. We heard from somebody already in England watching this game. And it looks like Utah is going to call for time, so we will step aside. 10:23 left to go here in the second quarter. Pittsburgh is on the move when you come back. Welcome back, everybody. First and 10 for the Passion at the 25-yard line of the Falconz. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here. We're at District 3 Stadium in Rock Hill, about 30 minutes, I should say, south of Charlotte. Horton, the handoff to Catone. Catone around one defender, breaks one tackle, and gains about 9 yards down to the 16-yard line. So that will bring up now second down and 1 for Pittsburgh. Get a look inside the Pittsburgh Passion huddle. 12 players or coaches for the Passions named All-Stars this year, of course, since they're in the championship game. The ladies playing tonight rather than this morning. Handoff again. It's Catone. Catone looking to get on the outside to the 10. Spins and taken down at the 5. Julia Guerrero, the linebacker, making the stop for the Falconz. But it's first down and goal as Pittsburgh looking to take the lead. Utah has led since the opening kickoff, thanks in part to a couple of two-point conversions. That's really the difference in the score. Both teams have scored 2 touchdowns apiece. So first and goal for Pittsburgh Handoff goes to Kimbrough. Kimbrough running to the right, trying to find some room, staying alive, but finally wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Check out Twitter. Hi to Michelle, who's watching. Michelle, we heard from her this morning watching the All-Star game. Also, hi to Nicole watching the Utah Falconz. She's in Stansbury Park in Utah. Isn't all of Utah a park? I think Stansbury can just drop the name. Utah is one giant good old time of a park. I lived in Wyoming a couple hours from there, and man, I loved going there. Horton, and hold on. It's an official timeout with 8:17 to go. And they'll restart things here. So we'll do it again here on 2nd down and goal for Pittsburgh. The woman in motion, I believe Baker on the near side now. Rolling to her left is Horton. Horton looking for Baker, throws for the touchdown. And Pittsburgh takes its first lead of the night, 19-16, with an extra point try coming up. Here comes Amy Fallon for the extra point again. 35 out of 37 during the regular season. She's 36 out of 38 after hitting her first of the night. Snap's good, and the kick is good. 7:51 left to go. Pittsburgh goes up by 4, 20-16. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game, along with Franco, the co-owner of The Passion. We'll be right back. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here in South Carolina. Amy Fallon's going to kick off. It's Keisha Cox and Thomasburg who will return. Got to say hi to Tessie, I believe. Tori and Megan all watching on Twitter. Got to say what's up to Rashid Whitfield, who is doing the camera. Rashid, before they kick off, wave to the folks. Say hello, for God's sakes. There he is. There's Rashid. He's doing a great job, isn't he? Fallon again, and that kick taken by an up woman. That was Jordan Willis, who has a nice return of her own out to the 45-yard line. So we've heard for quite a few Falcons fans so far today on Twitter. Tori's giving a shout out to Jasmine Teeters. Tori's watching in Portland. Megan's got 2 games going on the same time. It's best if you mute me, Megan. I found my voice is less needed. 1st down and 10 now. Handoff goes up the middle to Squaros, and Squaros is stuffed after a gain of 1. So they spotted it at the 43, ball at the 44-yard line now. Let's say hi to Brittany also, who's watching. Lots of Utah fans. We expected that, though. And I don't know, Smaz Mott? So stupid. I don't know who that is, but another Falcon fan. Bean, 2nd down and 9 now. Utah looking to get the lead back, giving it up for the first time. Quarterback keeper, and Bean is out near midfield at the 49-yard line. Pickup of 5. And it's a 3rd down now and 4. Past the midway point, past the 7-minute mark here in this 2nd quarter. Utah Falconz. I believe this is their first year in the league. They started last year as an independent, and they've been undefeated. This is their biggest test for both of these teams. Bean, the option, bobbled by Cox, able to pick it up, and she got horse-collared. So it's going to be a first down as Montgomery picked up the penalty. So was it on the face mask? That's what I'm hearing from the crowd up here in the booth. So it is a face mask. I had horse collar. My apologies. 6:25 left to play. Utah will get into Pittsburgh territory once this penalty wraps and they finally mark it off. Still, when you're going up against a runner who averages 34 yards per carry, giving up 15, maybe not a bad idea. Something tells me that Teresa Kahn and Harvey Smith would disagree. First down at the 46 of Pittsburgh now for Utah. And Bean is stuffed. That was Tella back at the 38-yard line as we're going to mark it. So it's a 2-yard loss. So second down and 12 now. And again, when you're not a passing team, you can't afford too many negative plays on one series of downs here. So let's see what Utah has in store in second and long. Bean, it's read by the defense, and a fumble is called. It's picked up by Zabovic, but I believe Bean was down. So Bean was down. It's maybe a loss of about a half a yard. 5:22 left to go, and a third and long here for the Falconz. Utah, I mentioned the veer option. It's a single read on scrimmage. They talked to the coaching staff about it. Don't really have the practice time to set up a two read, which would be more like what you would remember if you were a Nebraska fan back in the day when they used to run the option. That was a two read. This is a one read. And again, it's just practice time, not necessarily ability that has anything to do with that. Players shaken up, I believe, so the clock has stopped here with 5:05 left to go. And is that Tella, I believe? So it's Tella who will have to sit out for at least a play, or Utah can just call timeout, which they've done. So a timeout. We've got folks watching from England. We've got folks watching from Virginia. Finally got a Pittsburgh fan. It's Roger who's watching. Hi, Roger. We got Megan, Lindsay, Danielle, Danelle, I believe. Hi to everybody who's watching on Twitter. We got a big audience for this one, folks. Hopefully I don't suck. 5:05 left to go. Let's recap some of the action as you get a look at some of the Utah fans. Earlier this weekend in the Affiliate Bowl, Detroit winning 24-22 over San Antonio. In the Founders Bowl, it was Carolina 32-9 over Madison. And earlier today in the All-Star game, it was 29-12, the East over the West for the second straight year. I think I missed somebody on Twitter. Hi as well to Doji. And, of course, the Vixen, or at least somebody representing the Vixen, watching as well. And they're keeping everybody updated on Twitter if they can't be watching it right now. It's been a fun one so far, folks. This is living up to everything I expected when I first sat down and started looking at these two teams. The size difference really hasn't mattered for Utah as that pass is incomplete out of the timeout intended for Thomasburg. So that third down play goes for naught. Kim Beaver applying the coverage. I had the down wrong, I believe. No, it is fourth down. They just haven't changed the marker. The Pittsburgh fans are helping us out with the calls. They're not going to miss anything, trust me. In motion, Squaros. Bean looking to throw over the middle. It's caught by Thomasburg, and she got away from the defender just enough to dive forward for that extra yard, and she's going to pick up a first down on a fourth down. So the one matchup that we were interested was Utah being a little bit undersized compared to Pittsburgh. And so far that really hasn't mattered. Like I said, it's been living up to everything that we thought it would be. Uh-oh. Pittsburgh bench trying to get everybody going. That's Simone doing the cheer. It's a culture that Pittsburgh has really built. And what would you expect when you have a Steelers Hall of Famer as a part owner? Bean's going to keep it, and Bean maybe got one. Looks like they're going to mark her at the line of scrimmage, again at the 25-yard line. Nearing the 4-minute mark here in this second quarter. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. Our fourth and final game as the season wraps up. The IWFL starting in 2001. Bean. The handoff, here comes Cox. Cox looking to get outside. The defense doing a great job fouling her, and it's going to be a loss for Cox. That was great defense. Zabovic, we'll give her most of the credit, but it was a team effort, as it has to be against a runner like Cox. So, ball at the 29-yard line now. And it's third down and 14. And let's see if Bean looks to throw again. First completion came on the last sequence to Thomasburg. Floats it up now on the far side for Rainey, and just a little bit too far for Rainey. That'll bring up fourth down now. And let's see what Utah decides to do here. Utah, I don't believe, has much of a kicking game. I'll double-check the stats here. They have not attempted a field goal all season, so they don't have any kicking game in terms of field goal kicking anyways. So fourth down and 14. Bean, quick throw. Again, it's Thomasburg. Again, Thomasburg dragging defenders, but she's going to be shy of the first down. It's a 13-yard pickup, but 3 yards shy of the first down, and Pittsburgh will take over inside its own red zone with 3:10 left to go. We're going to step aside here briefly. We'll come back. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh right after this. Welcome back, everybody. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Horton. Looking to throw to the near side, and nobody's home. Looks like there's some other Utah tackle players who are watching on Twitter. Chick Ford as well. Chick said, "I'm doing great," which leads me to believe that Chick might have brain damage of some sort, but that's okay, Chick. Thanks for watching. Gwendolyn, hi to you. And also hi to Teresa, one of the players for the Nebraska Stampede. Lots of people on Twitter, lots of people everywhere. I know there's some watch parties going on. Feel free to tweet us some pictures or send it to us some other way if you feel like it, Facebook or whatever. 2nd down and 10 now for Pittsburgh. Ball again at the 19-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Looking over the middle for Catone. was Horton, and that pass is incomplete. Pittsburgh Passion have 3 players who have played since the 2002 inaugural season. Horton is one of them. Prentice and Sullivan are the others. Coach Teresa Kahn, also the only coach in team history, although she shares the duty with Harvey Smith. Again, it's a culture of winning. 8 playoff trips in 9 years for Pittsburgh. Right now they've got a 3rd and 10. Trying to get something going on this drive to end the half. Throwing it. Ooh, Horton, a bad throw that time, and that is picked right off. Interception for Utah. Chris Thomasberg, the defensive back, and it was thrown right to her. So the Falcons will take over in good position, right back about where they started, or where they ended the last drive, I should say. So with 2:57 left to go, Utah in position. Now I believe that's 2 turnovers for Pittsburgh and 1 turnover for Utah. And in a game like this, when it's really, really tight, those turnovers hurt that much more. Bean looking to throw to the slanter, Thomasberg. Thomasberg caught it at the 26-yard line, excuse me. Ashley Strong making the stop for Pittsburgh as we near the 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh's got all 3 of their timeouts, just 1 left for Utah. No need for them to hurry, though. In motion is Cox. The throw intended for Cox by Bean, and it's a little bit over her head. That'll bring up a 2nd down now, and 4. Utah Falcons had an easy go of it during the regular season. 1,759 total yards, 439.8 yards per game. Several of the games, which you have to keep in mind too, were either forfeited by their opponents or played with a running clock. And the 2nd and 3rd string players were inserted usually in the first quarter. Here's Bean, again, another slant, caught by Rainey. Rainey dragging defenders inside the 15, and they're going to mark her at just inside the 15. And a 1st down for Utah. We'll see when they start the clock. If Utah tries to get another playoff here, they might elect to run it to the 2-minute warning. The championship game, Pittsburgh by 4. And they will run a play. It's a keeper by Bean. Bean swarmed in the middle. I saw Masters there, as well as a couple other players. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning, 20-16 Pittsburgh. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game from Rock Hill. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Well, hopefully you'll allow me a little shameless self-promotion here. If you're a small business owner, you need help with your website, social media, SEO, any of that. In addition to being a D-list broadcaster, I can also help you with your small business needs. Visit my website there. I'll give you a discount because you're a fan of the league. So 2nd down now. That's Bean. Throws complete to Cox. Cox gets around 1 defender and went from 0 to 60 pretty quick. Got outside after a 4-yard pickup, ball at the 11-yard line. Hey, guess what? We've cooled off. It's 86 degrees now. We started at 88. The sun has gone away behind the clouds. While they're huddled up, can you get a picture of the sunset? That looks pretty. I don't know if it looks as pretty on the screen, but trust me, folks, it's gorgeous. So it's 3rd down, and they're going to call it 7. Handoff up the middle. It's Cox hitting the ground hard, and is she in? No, she's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line. Keisha Cox almost had her 3rd touchdown of the night. Man, she is something to watch. I always admired those players that can start out. That was always my problem. Well, I've got many problems, but I could never go from 0 to 60 like that. Handoff now on 1st and goal to Squaros, and Squaros is going to be stopped short at the goal line. So that'll bring up 2nd down now. And I think if you're Utah, you'll take that, let the clock run inside 1 minute to go here in this first half. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll take the full break, so we'll go away for 15 minutes. Whole bunch of people are taking pictures and tweeting them. If you're on Twitter, you can use the hashtag IWFL to look at some of the pictures. I may pull some of those if you guys don't mind, and I will show those on the broadcast. It's a youth league that the Utah Girls Tackle League watching their hometown team. Also, the family of Kara Catone taking a nice picture. Good to see all those folks. And now this 2nd down run. And up the middle, it's a sub. It's Bean, correction, who kept it. And Bean gets ahead for the score. So Utah takes the lead back now, 22-20, with 35 seconds left to go, and an extra point try coming up. I'll tell you what, folks, I'm looking on Twitter, and some of you folks might be just as crazy as I am. I love the pictures. So a 2-point try now for Utah. Try to make it a 4-point game. It's a play-action fake. Rolling to the right, Bean. And flags come down as the pass was intended, I believe, for Jordan Willis. But it's going to be pass interference, so Utah will retry at the 1-yard line now. So they'll move it up to the 1. Utah will try it again. The first non-Cox touchdown for Utah as Bean got in on a 1-yard run. 22-20. And guess who? It's Cox for the 2-pointer. And Utah goes up 24-20. We'll bring you the conclusion of this second quarter right after this. Actually, we'll keep it here. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Let's take a profile of the Utah Falconz. Show you how they got to this point. Second straight, as I mentioned, undefeated season. Top rushing team in the IWFL. 335.2 yards per game. 66.8 points per game. Average margin of victory for Utah this season, 60 points. Now we'll take a look at the Pittsburgh Passion and how they got to this point. Defending champions, won 41-7 last year against Houston. As I mentioned, 2 titles, looking for their 3rd in the playoffs for the 8th time in 9 seasons. 21-game win streak, 46.6 points per game. These are the 2 top-scoring teams in the league. They're going to reset the clock, I believe, because it ran on the conversion attempt. So that's what the holdup is for right now. It's a little bit breezy as well. The wind's kind of blowing out to the far side. We've got a little bit of it coming in here into the press box. Well, now it's at 3:57. We know that's not right, so they will check it. Now it's right. 35.7 seconds left to work with for Pittsburgh. By the way, keep in mind, Pittsburgh did defer to the second half, so they will receive. So don't expect them to be too aggressive. Emmy Rainey will kick again for Utah. Back to receive Kim Beaver and Angela Baker for Pittsburgh. And that's going to go out of bounds. Again, it kind of got caught in that wind that I mentioned that's carrying out that way. So Pittsburgh might have a couple of shots here. They've got all 3 timeouts, 35.7 seconds, and one of the best passers to ever play in the women's game. Let's see how aggressive they decide to be. They're going to get it at the 45-yard line, I do believe. It's been an excellent first half. So here we go, 1st and 10. Bunched up 3 receivers for Horton on the near side. She looks that way. Horton with the throw. Got it to Catone inside Utah territory and down at the 44-yard line. $16-yard pickup for Pittsburgh, and only 7 seconds came off the clock. And I believe Pittsburgh will use one of their timeouts here. So Pittsburgh calling for time. The offense is ready to go, though. So the coaching staff's going to come on the field and regroup everybody. And if you're just joining us, a little check at some of the other action that happened this weekend in the Affiliate Bowl. Detroit won over San Antonio, and a good one, 24-22. Carolina all over Madison, 32-9. And in the All-Star game, it was the East 29 and the West 12. My name's Chris Shima. Glad to be with you here tonight. We've been with you all weekend long. Hopefully you've been enjoying it wherever you're watching from. As always, we do appreciate it. It's great to hear from the folks on Twitter. I know not everybody has social media. I don't want you folks to feel out of the broadcast as well. It's great to hear from everybody, and got all the positive feedback that we've gotten so far this weekend. It's been an incredibly fun experience for me, my first year here working with this league. What a dedicated group. I mean dedicated. Horton, 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the right side, Catone coming in motion. And Horton goes to the right, but a flag comes down first. So 24.2 seconds and a false start on the Passion. I mentioned Franco Harris is a part owner of the Pittsburgh Passion, along with Teresa Conn, the head coach, co-head coach with Harvey Smith. Pittsburgh starting this program up in 2002. We ran through some of the history of women's tackle football going all the way back to 1926. That video's on YouTube, and folks, you can check it out during the half since we're going to go away. Keep yourselves occupied, now they're trouble. Looks like the officials are going to get together here and talk about something, and I believe they're going to reset the clock again to 27 seconds. First down and 15. Again, it's Catone in motion. Horton rolls to the right. The bomb. And that's going to come up a little bit short. Batted down by Emmy Rainey for the Falcons. Good defense by Rainey. Still 19 seconds, or 20 seconds, let's call it. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, we're running on the wireless system here at the stadium, and it's possible that the broadcast may cut in and out from time to time. If it goes away, we'll get it back up. Fingers crossed. We've been fortunate so well. Just putting it out there so you don't panic if we lose you. 19.9 seconds. Again, Pittsburgh, second down now, and 15 from their Utah 48. Wadowski open on the near side, and that pass complete. That's Baker who came up with the catch. Having trouble seeing her number. And that's going to bring up now a third down and short. So call it a pickup of about 13 yards. Third down and 2. And a timeout by Pittsburgh. That is their second. So they will have one left with 14.5 seconds left to work with. So we'll see what Adam Santoro, the offensive coordinator, calls up. Michael Ramos, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, trying to keep Pittsburgh out of the end zone. Remember, Pittsburgh does have a pretty good kicker in Amy Fallon. I'm going to check her field goal numbers as soon as I can pull them up here. Fallon has only attempted one field goal this season, so Fallon, I believe, is a soccer player as well, so one of those Olindo Mari types. So 14.5 left to work with, third and short. Pittsburgh at the Utah 35-yard line. And Horton directing traffic on the near side. They've got Wadowski, that's nearest to your screen, Baker in the slot, and Sullivan, the tight end, all on the near side. Now Sullivan goes in motion. Horton flips it back to Baker. Baker cuts it to the middle. And Baker is going to be stood up. It's enough for the first down and a couple of yards. 4-yard pickup at the 31-yard line. 4.6 seconds left to work with, and Pittsburgh calls its final timeout. Hi to Lisa, who's watching from Herriman, Utah. Sorry, Lisa, if I got that wrong. And I'm told there's some folks hitting us up on Instagram as well. More Utah fans posting stuff on Instagram. It's good to see all the fans who are getting excited and enjoying this one. It's been a fun one to call. Hopefully it's been a fun one to watch as well. 24-20 Utah. 4.6 seconds left to work with for Pittsburgh. Expect them to flip it into the end zone and see what happens here. Lisa Horton, as I mentioned, one of the three players who's been around since the beginning, since 2002. A 13-year veteran running this team and one of the all-time greats. 63% completion rate, 26 touchdowns, and 3 picks during the regular season. One of the rare times she goes under center here. The play action. The flip. And they're trying to do the hook and lateral. It was fumbled. Catone able to pick it up. But Utah holds firm. So it's the Utah Falconz, the second-year team, leading the championship 24-20. Folks, we're going to go away for about 15 minutes. We'll come back after the half is over and bring you all the second half action. Don't go too far. It should be a fun finish. You're watching the 2015 IWL championship game from Rock Hill. We're coming right back. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. The correct score is Utah 24, Pittsburgh 20 at the half, and we're just about set to go here in this second half. Glad you could be watching with us wherever you're watching from. I know there's plenty of fans we've talked to already on Twitter. Wanted to share a few of the photos that people have sent in to us, and we're going to start out with one appears to be a very clearly stressed out Falcons fan. That was sent to us by Darren. And then here's the Catone family, all gathered together to watch the game. So hi to those folks. And also this one just came in here towards the end of the half, and that's from Donnell, I believe. We saw the mascot for the Falcons at halftime, and we'll get you a shot of him coming up here. So that's a few of the folks who are watching back home. Hi to everybody, and thanks for checking out the broadcast. So just about set to get underway. If you're just joining us, you've missed the party. We had 3 touchdowns for Utah, 2 for Pittsburgh, and they went back to back to back to back. It was Utah starting things off with a 76-yard touchdown run by Cox. Pittsburgh got a touchdown run up the middle from Catone, her 14th of the year. Pittsburgh made it 8-6. Then Utah, Cox, a 52-yard touchdown run to put Utah back up. Wadowski caught a pass from Horton from 12 yards out as Pittsburgh answered back. And then Utah got a 1-yard run from the quarterback, Bean. Pittsburgh also had another score in there. They briefly led in this game by 20-16. So it'll be Emmy Rainey who will kick off for Utah, and Baker back to receive as well as Beaver. I guess a couple of folks on Instagram posting as well, as that kick goes high in the air, bounces at the 20, and that's going to go out of bounds. So a good decision there by Baker to let it go out, and Pittsburgh will take over at the 45-yard line. Unfortunately, I don't have the brain power to check 2 social media accounts and do play-by-play at the same time, but we encourage you to share your photos and thoughts and all that good stuff no matter where you prefer. I know the league would love to see how many people are checking this one out. So it's first down and 10. Correction ball at the 40-yard line for Pittsburgh. Horton is under center. One of the rare first or second time that we've seen this today. I formation. And the handoff up the middle, Catone. And Catone gains about 2.5 to start off this first possession here in this second half. How big was that decision by Pittsburgh to defer to the half and receive it here in this second half? Both of these teams have moved the ball very well, as you can see on the scoreboard. Handoff again, Catone cuts to the outside, and she will be taken down. Fought for an extra half a yard. So Catone picking up 4. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. As Sarah Galicia made the tackle alongside Chris Thomasberg. So a 3rd down and 3 now for Horton. Horton rolling to the right. Couple of pumps. Now throws it wide open on the far side. It's Baker. Baker at the Utah 40 and fights for a couple extra yards. They'll mark her down at the 39-yard line. Willis with another tackle for the Falcons. And Utah on the move now inside, Pittsburgh on the move inside Utah territory. So Horton under center again, trips to the near side. The handoff to Catone. Catone runs to that three receiver set on the near side. Around two defenders to the 35, 30, 25, and she is pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 13-yard pickup and a 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. I believe Rainey made the defensive play for Utah. Shannon Gabbia checking in, the linebacker for the Falcons here on this 1st down and 10 for Pittsburgh. Ball at the 23-yard line of Utah. Horton back in the shotgun. Two backs. And the handoff goes to Kimbrough up the middle. Kimbrough takes it to the 20 and can get no further. Taylor in there to help with the stop for Utah. Just underway here in this 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh looking to get the lead for the 2nd time here tonight. Under center, it's Horton in the I formation. Offset I now as Kimbrough goes to the right, now left. And the handoff, Catone. Catone trying to bounce to the outside. She's got room. 15-10. Cuts back inside. Gains a couple more yards, and she's down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. 13-yard pickup for Catone. And it looked like Sam Taylor was in there to help prevent the touchdown run. So a 1st down and goal at the 6. Or correction, they're going to back it to the 7. Split back set now. Two receivers to the near side for Pittsburgh as Horton will go into the shotgun here. Horton looking to throw. Looking for Wadowski and just a little bit over her head. A little bit of talking out there. Wadowski. It looked like that was Rainey on the coverage. Those two jawing a little bit. Either one of these teams are used to this. Normally they're up by 30 or 40 by this point. The handoff, Catone. Catone trying to cut around one defender. A good block. And down at the 5-yard line. That was Lorette Cooper, I believe, making the play for Utah. And that's going to make it 3rd down and goal at the 5-yard line. 4 minutes into this 2nd half. 2015 IWFL championship game. And we're going to get a timeout by Utah. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside. 10:53 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh with the opening drive of the 2nd half. Trying to punch it in for 6. Welcome back, everybody. It is 3rd down and goal at the 5-yard line for Pittsburgh. Back in the shotgun, Horton. Catone in the back. And we've got another whistle. Our Instagrammer, I believe, his name is Jaleel. Big thanks to Jaleel for checking out the broadcast and this championship game. I'm not sure what the stoppage was, but we're ready to go again. I think they might have respotted the ball because they moved it a little bit inside the 5. Who knows? Horton, 3 receivers to the far side, rolls that way, floats it into the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Baker with the touchdown grab, and Pittsburgh retakes the lead, 26-24. Looks like there's an injured player down for Pittsburgh. So while they deal with that injury, we will step aside. Actually, we're going to keep it here right now, get some clarification. Is that Horton?
Yeah, that's number 14.
Oh, no, that's Horton who's down right now for Pittsburgh. And there was a late flag that came in from what I hear, so there could be a late hit coming. But Horton is down right now, so we'll step aside briefly, and hopefully she'll be able to get up and be okay. Welcome back, everybody. Well, what we hope is good news. Horton is walking fine under her own power, and let's hope that she's going to be okay. The veteran unsportsmanlike penalty was called on Utah, and I believe it was a late hit on Horton. So it's likely that they'll take those 15 yards on the kickoff. Boy, it's been such a great night. You hate to see something like that. So Fallon out to attempt the extra point. She's 2 for 2 so far tonight. Kick is up, and it's right through again, 27-24. Pittsburgh takes the 3-point lead here in this third quarter. Utah with their first possession of the second half coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 27-24, Pittsburgh with the 3-point lead. Now, Utah will have a chance at it for the first time here in this second half. It's Keisha Koss and Chris Thomasberg back to receive for Utah. Amy Fallon will kick off and boots it. It'll bounce just inside the 40. Handled by Cox. Cox turns on the Jets. 45-40. 35 and taken down from behind at the 30-yard line. Hannah Damon saving another touchdown run from Cox. There's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going against Utah. Another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Utah. That's the fourth 15-yarder that they've given up in this game. And it hurts them now on offense as they'll be backed up to the 46-yard line, I believe. We'll see where they mark it. It is the 46. So 1st and 10 for Utah after the penalty at the 46. Got a note from the Pittsburgh folks who were keeping stats up here. Catone's gone over 100 yards for the 3rd time in 3 playoff games. And the keeper by Bean, she is stuffed back near midfield. Let's see where they spot it. They'll spot it at the 49-yard line. Octavia Griswold making the play for Pittsburgh. So Catone over 100 yards in 3 straight playoff games. That's the first time in Pittsburgh history that that's happened. She had 129 against New York, 137 against Carolina, and she's got 102 and counting right now. So Bean, 2nd down and 12. The handoff goes to Cox. Cox is stuffed. Not that time. Guess who? It's Hannah Damon again. So Hannah Damon making 2 great plays on Cox. Keisha Cox, if you're just joining us, 2 touchdowns on the night for Utah. 1 on a kickoff return and 1 on a touchdown run. So it's a 2-yard loss, or excuse me, 1-yard loss. Ball at the 49, 3rd down and 13. Need to get it to the Pittsburgh 36, does Utah. And that throw is going to be tipped and almost intercepted. Looks like Griswold got a hand on it. 9:17 left to go. It's 4th down for Utah. I don't believe we've seen them punt yet. They're bringing in Emmy Rainey. Taking a look over at the bench, too, for an update on Horton. Horton's looking pretty good to me. It's easy for me to say from up here, but she looks okay. So 4th down and long now. That pass sails over everybody's head and a flag close to the line of scrimmage. So let's see what the flag is first. I mentioned neither one of these teams used to being in a tight game. So the penalty went against Utah, and that means Pittsburgh will get it near midfield, so good field position for the Passion as they go up by 3 to start off the half. Now their 2nd possession here in this 3rd quarter at their own 49-yard line. Hi to Sheila, who's watching. Tweeted she's from Hydro, Oklahoma, rooting on the Falcons. Pittsburgh bringing in a couple of buses full of people. I'd say there's a good 200 or so Pittsburgh fans here, maybe even more than that. 1st down and 10. Here's Catone. She's dragged down from behind after a gain of 1. That was Lindy Pressgard making the tackle for Utah. So the ball at midfield now, 2nd down and 9 for Pittsburgh. So Catone now up to 103 yards. As I mentioned, first time in team history, 3 straight playoff games with one runner going over 100 yards each time. Horton under center, I formation. Catone bounces off, cuts it to the right, to the 45-40, 35-30, and she might be stopped just outside the 30. She is at the 32. 18-yard pickup. So 121 yards now for Catone. Pittsburgh, the veterans. Horton, again, good to see her back out there. Another run. Catone Escapes the tackle in the backfield and is down just inside the 30. It looks like they're going to mark her at the 29-yard line. Nearing the midway point of this third quarter, pretty fast-moving third quarter as Pittsburgh's starting to flex its muscles. We talked about there's a little bit of a size difference between these two teams. Pittsburgh a little bit bigger. Utah maybe starting to wear down just a little bit on defense. The longer that Pittsburgh can keep these drives going and give their defense a rest as well, so they can be rested for Cox and Bean and Tella and all of their runners, the better. So Horton again in the I formation, directing and calling out the play at the line of scrimmage. Moving over to the right, Kimbrough, offset I. Handoff, faked. It's a play action. Horton rolling, and it's almost intercepted. Pass intended for Wadowski, and Thomasburg almost picked that one off. How about that? Anytime a play like that happens and I'm watching football with my old man, he always reminds me of the Stickum days. Those of you who remember those days in football, that would have been an interception. Horton, the pistol, rolling to the right. Horton, couple of receivers. She goes to Wadowski, and Wadowski dives ahead for the first down and then some. She'll be stopped at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 9 and a first down for the Passion. Music in there for the Falcons making the stop, but Pittsburgh on the move again. Inside 7 to go here in this third quarter. Pittsburgh looking for a little separation. We've had little separation so far. Horton again under center. Catone up the middle, bulldozes her way, and they're going to mark her for a gain of about 1 down to the 18. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. The IWFL Championship game live from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Started at 88 degrees. We're down to 83 as the sun has gone away. I'm being nosy listening to the Pittsburgh guys do their stats. I believe Horton's 19 of 26. 199 yards. Looking for more on this throw. Rolls to the left, and that pass is knocked away by Moyes for the Falcons. So Moyes with pretty good defense, and that's going to set up a third down now and 10. Hi to AJ, who's watching on Twitter as well, our another Passion fan. Lots of folks sending us pictures on Twitter and Instagram and all kinds of stuff. It's good to see everybody having a good Saturday night, spending it with me, keeping me company. Thank you for that. 5:51 left to go, and a third down now, again for Pittsburgh. And again, Falconz for the Passion is a legit kicker, but she's only attempted 1 field goal this season, so this is likely 4-down territory for Horton and the Passion. Horton under center, the offset I. It's handed off Catone. Catone, big hole to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Catone does it for the second time today. 5:45 left to go. Pittsburgh tacking on 3 more, and they lead it by 9 with the extra point to come. So Catone had a 1-yard touchdown run earlier in this game, back in the first quarter. And she's got a long touchdown run now. It's Fallon for the extra point, and it's good. Pittsburgh by 10, 34-24. 5:45 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back with the 2015 IWFL Championship game as you look at the Pittsburgh Crazies making the trip and rooting their team on. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, everybody. Amy Fallon getting set to kick off. It's Cox and Thomasburg back to receive, and that goes over everybody's head, and that's going to bounce to the end zone. Thomasburg will pick it up and take a knee, and a boom by Fallon will make it first down and 10 at the Utah 20. So Utah with some work to do now, finding themselves in a hole for the first time, down by 10. So it's 34-24. As you see the fans start to cheer their defense on and make some noise. Folks, we got your message about the glare, so we've reopened the window, and hopefully that'll leave it. First down and 10, and that run by Tella, I believe, and she got hit. It looks like it's going to be a loss, and I believe Tella is still down. Olivia Griswold making another big play. They're going to call it no gain. Might have lost a couple inches. That's about all. Second down and 10 now. And Pittsburgh starting to flex its muscles a little bit more on defense, stopping this option offense. Empty backfield now for Bean. Bean runs to the right. She's going to keep it to the 22. And that's about it. So a 2-yard pickup, not much more. And it's going to be a third down and 8. So another third down and long situation for Utah. 4:36 and counting left to go here in this third quarter. Bean looking to throw. Floats it up, and that is intercepted by Pittsburgh. Ashley Strawn, the defensive back for the Passion, comes up with a big turnover. And it's all rolling Pittsburgh's way here in this third quarter. Hang on, there's a flag. Correction, she didn't catch it. So I thought she had it. And they say she didn't have possession, so Utah still in a fourth down, so either way, Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back. And for the first time tonight, it's going to be Utah to punt. And we might get a timeout here first. Timeout Pittsburgh, we'll step aside. 4:16 left to go in the championship game. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It'll be Emmy Rainey who will punt. Back to receive for the Passion is Angela Baker. And that one is going to be caught by Baker, but caught it on the run and goes out of bounds. Inside Utah territory, though, at the 47-yard line. We'll step aside briefly, come back 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. 1st and 10 again for Pittsburgh, rolling in this third quarter. Near 200 yards for Horton. As she takes the snap, handoff, and it was a fake toss to Catone. Catone to the 45, and she'll be stopped right there. So it was a fake to Kimbrough. Catone took the pitch. And it's a 2-yard pickup. Catone's up to 146 yards. Horton 199. 2nd down and 8 now for Pittsburgh. And again, how much energy does that Utah defense have at this point? Utah led for most of the first half. It's been all Pittsburgh here in this third quarter. Utah's defense trying to make a play here. 2nd and 8. The run goes to Kimbrough. Kimbrough up the middle, and she'll be right near that marker. At the 36-yard line is where they're going to spot her. 9-yard pickup and a 1st and 10 again for Pittsburgh. First and 10 now for the Passion. 2 receivers to the near side for Horton. It's another handoff, and a little bit of trouble, it looks like, with the handoff to Kimbrough, and she's stuffed in the backfield. Looks like Shannon Gabbia was there to make a play on it for the Falconz. Also there was Lanu Lewis. So 2:35 and counting now. Pittsburgh 2nd and 12 after the mishandled handoff. Horton in the I formation. 2 receivers bunched to the far side. Horton, and wow, look at Catone break off the tackles to the 30, 25, and taken down just inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 24. It was Jordan Willis, the defensive back for Utah. Boy, it looked like Utah had Catone wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and Catone just bounced around the pile and took off. Another 1st down for Pittsburgh here. Inside 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. A reminder, fans, stick around post-game, full trophy presentation and the MVP award as well. Horton again in the I form. 2 receivers this time on the near side. It's Baker and Wadowski, I believe, on the near side. The play action. Horton rolling to the left. Throws it deep into the end zone, or close to the end zone, and a little bit short. Intended for Wadowski. So a 2nd down now for Pittsburgh. Shuffling in and out for the Utah defense. Good job by Coach Rasmussen. I think I called him Rasmussen in the first half, and somebody on Twitter corrected me. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Rick Rasmussen. Rasmussen. Good Lord, get it right. So 2nd and 10 again for Pittsburgh at the 24-yard line of Utah. The handoff, Catone right up the middle to the 20-15, and she'll be stopped just shy of the first down. Looks like it's going to be a 9-yard pickup for Catone. And this quick-moving third quarter is starting to wind to a close as Pittsburgh is starting to punish its way into a big lead here. If they punch it in for 7 again, that's going to spell trouble for Utah. Certainly not out of it, even if they allow a touchdown here, but need a stop. Need some momentum back on their side. Handoff goes to Kimbrough. Kimbrough up the middle, and she picks up the first down and then some. All the way inside the 10-yard line. She'll be stopped at the 8, and it's first down and goal for Pittsburgh with 38 seconds left to go in the quarter. So a first and goal now. 2 receivers to the near side. That's where Horton rolls. Flips it into the end zone. It's caught again. Wodowski with the catch. Her 2nd touchdown grab. And Pittsburgh starting to push the lead out. Now it's 40-24 with the extra point to come. So Horton goes over 200 yards on that drive, has another touchdown pass to her credit here today. And Horton continuing one of her best seasons as the extra point by Fallon is good, and it's a 17-point advantage for the Passion. 20 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Folks, we'll step aside, bring you the kickoff. Actually, hang on here. We have a flag on the play. It's a personal foul. No, it was roughing the kicker on Utah, so that'll be assessed on the kickoff. So now we'll step aside and come right back. Welcome back, everybody. Getting set to kick off is Amy Fallon. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. The veteran team, the Pittsburgh Passion, starting to muscle their way ahead of the youngsters as that kick booms again to the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 20 for Utah as you once again get a look at the crowd. Good contingency of Steelers fans on hand. Talked to one of their coaches, I think, while I was setting up and testing everything a couple of days ago. Some of the folks went to Myrtle Beach, which is about 3.5 hours from here, soaked up some suns before heading over to Rock Hill. So 20 seconds to work with here in the third quarter for Utah, and Utah in desperate need of 6, 8, anything right now. Bean remains under center. The handoff goes to Cox, and Cox is stuffed, maybe gained a half a yard. Several Pittsburgh defenders in there. I believe Angela Baker made a stop. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. All Passion in the third as they take a 17-point advantage into the fourth. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game from Rock Hill. We're coming back with the fourth and final quarter right after this. On to the fourth quarter we go. Second down play for the Utah Falconz. An important drive for them to start this fourth quarter as the team switch sides. Bean is going to throw. It's short. Nice spin move as that was caught, I believe, by Squaros. So Squaros with the reception. Montgomery with the stop for Pittsburgh. It's a gain of 4. And it's a third down and about 5 they're going to call it. So 3rd and 5 here for Utah. And the biggest third down of the night for the Falconz. They need to give their defense a rest. Bean pitches it. It's Tella. Tella taking it strong to the outside and past the 30. Out of bounds at the 31. And a Falconz first down. This is a big drive for Utah. I don't want to be overly dramatic about it, but with 14-12 left to go, you've only got so many possessions in this game. Your defense sorely needs a breather, and you need points on the board. Bean looking to throw. Nobody's looking. It was intended for Cox, but Cox never turned around. Griswold in on the coverage for the Passion. My name's Chris Sheeman. Camera guy bringing you all these beautiful pictures is Rashid Whitfield. Second down. The pitch. And it's Tella again. Strong run as defender tried to wrap her up, couldn't do it. As she takes it all the way to the 39-yard line, 8-yard pickup, and a second down, and, or excuse me, a third down and 2, I believe. So third down. Bean sending Cox in motion, hands it up the middle. Tella is there again, and Tella, it looks like, will pick up a first down. She's right on the line, and it is a first down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 42-yard line. So 4-yard pickup for Tella, and Utah continuing to move the football. Again, it's Cox in motion. She gets the pitch. Gets outside, 45-50, couple of blocks, and taken down at the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. 13-yard pickup for Keisha Cox, who has 2 touchdowns on the night, and almost broke that one. Crystal Kozo for the Passion, making the tackle. Bean. This is Squaros on the far side, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and tackled from behind at the 20 of Pittsburgh. Big run by Squaros for Utah. Ashley Strawn for the Passion making the tackle. And a big drive for Utah, looking to get some of the momentum back. It was all Pittsburgh in the third quarter. They scored 21 unanswered points in the third quarter. Bean sending Cox in motion. Gets it to Cox. Cox to the outside. Cox hesitates, cuts it in, and taken down at the 17-yard line. A hard-fought 3 yards, but it looks like if she had a little bit more of a burst, she could have gotten around on the outside as they were blocking. Nevertheless, second down and 7 for Utah as we go inside 12 minutes to go in the championship game. Hi to Aaron, who's watching, another Falcons fan on Twitter. 2nd and 7, and that play blown up in the backfield. Being a little slow to get the handoff to Tella, and it looks like they're going right back to the 20-yard line. Correction, they'll mark it at the 19. So 3rd down and 9 now. Falcons need to get it to the Pittsburgh 10. That's tossed. And a broken play as Burns got the toss. And she's dragged back to the 22-yard line, loss of 2. And there was a flag, I believe, that came down on the play. So let's let the officials get together. So a rare carry for Abby Burns goes backwards a couple of yards, but let's see the foul. Personal foul and a face mask on Pittsburgh. Oh, a big penalty there will give the Falcons a 1st down. So the Falcons drive goes from a 3rd and long to a 1st down and 10. It looks like it's going to be just outside the 10-yard line. So the Falcons will be able to pick up a 1st down. The fake, it goes to Squaros. Squaros running to the left, and she stood up after a gain of a couple. Griswold making another stop for Pittsburgh. 2nd time we've called her name on this drive. Bean under center. Bean, the pitch. Goes to Tella, and Tella finds no room. Swarming, passion defense. And it looks like she lost a couple. So the Falcons are going backwards. And a big 3rd down now. Again, they don't have to get it into the end zone. They can get down to the 1 and pick up a 1st down. Hi to Karen, who's watching, a passion fan from Hamilton, Texas originally, living in Ohio. I'm guessing because of she lost a bet or something. I'm kidding. Hi, Karen. How are you? Thanks for watching. Bedford's close to my hometown of Cleveland. So 3rd down. On the 11, they're going to mark it. Bean looking to throw. Bean, that's deflected. Knocked down by the Passion at the line of scrimmage, but it's Olivia Griswold again. And now it's 4th down, and if you're Utah, you've got to go for it. And this might be the play that decides this one. Still 9:31 to go, folks, but Utah doesn't have big strikes via the air. They've got a big run capability for Cox, but she's been held in check. So Utah needs a 1st down or a score here, or things get bleak. Bean sending Cox in motion. Bean looks to throw for Cox in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Keisha Cox. She's got a kick return. She's got a touchdown run. Now she has a touchdown reception and a beautiful throw by the quarterback, Luis Bean. And just like that, Utah is alive once more. Keisha Cox finds the end zone for the 3rd time. Bean under center now on the 2-point try. Bean will pitch it to Cox. Cox fumbled it, and she'll fall on it. So the 2-point conversion fails. But Utah gets much needed 6 points, 9:27 left to go. Pittsburgh still leading by 11 in the championship. We'll be back. There's the Falcon. Oh, he's disappeared. There he is. We've been looking for him all game. Out there entertaining the Utah crowd that made the trip. They're going to onside it. Looking to fake everybody out. Nobody was ready for it. Now it's a scrum for it. We saw this in the game last night. The team wasn't set. They just got it and went. So an onside kick attempted by Rainey. And who's going to come out of here with it? It's Utah. Utah gets the onside kick. Unbelievable. Momentum shift complete. The Falcons with the ball inside Pittsburgh territory. Gutsy call by Rick Rasmussen. And it's a first down and 10 for Utah at the 48-yard line. Well, they were probably going to need one at some point. Why not do it early and get it over with? And a good job catching Pittsburgh napping. Bean, the handoff up the middle, it's Cox, and Cox gets it to the 45 for Pittsburgh. About 3 yards. Michelle Peters making the stop for the Passion. Inside 9 minutes to go. Utah getting much needed 6 points. Just moments ago, the onside recovery. Keisha Cox, third touchdown of the day. She's ran one back, she's run for one as a back, and she's caught one. Here's Tella. Tella gets a block, tries to cut it up. Keeping her feet moving. Textbook for how to run the football. And it's only a 3-yard gain, but she earned it. Looks like there's a couple of Passion players down, or at least one Passion player down. So 8:16 left to go in the championship game. Utah on the move again. We'll step aside while they attend to the injured player. It was Kim Beaver who was down, but fortunately got up quickly. We got folks watching all over the country and all over the world. They're in the United Kingdom. It's 2:30 in the morning right now. The pubs are just closing. 2:30 is early for me. Clock continuing the run now, inside 8 minutes. A third down and about 5. The pitch goes to Cox in the backfield. She breaks away. How did she break away? she's going to be short of the first down. In fact, might have even lost a yard, but that looked like it was going to be a lot worse. Michelle Peters was all up in her grill, and Cox was able to get away somehow. So it's a 1-yard loss, 4th down, and nearing the midway point of the 4th quarter, it's 4-down territory for the Falcons at this point. Is it the magic bean once again for the Falcons? The pitch. It's Cox. Cox trying to find some room, and she's stopped right on that first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. Ashley Strong forced her out of bounds. And we're waiting for the signal. It's a first down for Utah. The drive continues. 7:10 left to go, and the clock starts to run. Abby Burns coming in again for the Falcons. So Abby Burns comes in. The receiver, Rainey, goes out to the far side. The other receiver for Utah, Thomasburg, on the near side. And the 3-back option set. That's going to be handed off, and that goes to Burns. Burns gets a couple down to the 35-yard line of Pittsburgh. At some point, though, here, Utah still needs that big play. And I know that sounds a bit redundant after that wild onside kick, but the clock's continuing to run here. Utah does have 2 timeouts, by the way. They used one early in the 3rd quarter. Both teams with 2. But Pittsburgh doesn't care about their timeouts right now. They care about that clock. And it's ticking. It looks like it's ticking fast for you folks. It's not ticking at all in the mind of the Passion right now. Bean the play action. Bean looking for the big play. Floats it up, and that is incomplete. Boy, that was real close to pass interference intended for Rainey. I thought the defender got there first. I mean, that was real close. So 3rd down, ball at the 35. Pittsburgh trying to get another couple of stops here, get the football back with 6:01 to go in the game. So 3rd down and 8. Again, 4-down territory for Utah. Looking for the big play on 2nd down. In motion, it's Cox. Bean looks to throw again over the middle, and nobody's home. That was intended for Memory Ware. And another big 4th down here for the Falcons. Edge of your seat stuff now if you're a Utah fan. Heck, if you're any fan. 5:55 left to go. Utah needs 8. Will they go to Cox here? Bean sending Cox in motion. Gets it to her. Cox turns on the Jets, has the first down and then some. Inside the 20-yard line. Big play. Keisha Cox does it again. 1st down and 10. The drive continues for the Falcons. It's Montgomery who made the play for Pittsburgh. Oh, boy. Keisha Cox came in, had 10 carries all season. She's been a workhorse, as has Tella. This is Tella. Tella cuts inside the defense. One defender to beat, and the safety able to stop her right near the 1st down marker, and I believe she might have it. Call it a gain of 10. Hang on, though, a flag down. It's in the secondary. The clock stops. 5:19 left to go. And it looks like a player is down as well for Utah. So they'll look at her. Is it Tella, the running back? Waiting for the penalty to be called in. I think they're going to wait for the injury. So we will step aside. 5:19 left to go. Utah on the move yet again. So the injured player was Tella. Tella came off the field under her own power, which is good news. Fortunately, we haven't had any big injuries. Horton got knocked down pretty good, but was able to get back out there. Hopefully the same is true for Tella. So it's a first down now and goal. I didn't see what the penalty was, but evidently it was on Pittsburgh because the ball's all the way at the 4-yard line now. It was a ripping the head off penalty. Here's the pitch. Guess who? For the 4th time, she's trying it. Can't get there this time, though. It's just a gain of a yard. Hi to Britt, who's watching on Twitter, saying I should get a job on ESPN. ESPN would never hire somebody like me. Everybody on ESPN all sounds alike. They don't want somebody like me. Trust me. I'd be fired after the first broadcast. But thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks to everybody who's been watching. 2nd down and goal. Utah sending Cox in motion. She gets it and wrapped up in the backfield all the way to the 6-yard line. 4:20 and counting. I don't know. If you're Utah, right now I'm not seeing that sense of urgency. They got to get it going here. The clock's running. They need one more possession unless they're going to try another onside, but those aren't always successful. Running a lot of clock inside 4 minutes now. They still, as I mentioned, do have 2 timeouts, but this may be 4-down territory. You got to think it's going to Cox. I believe Tella's back out there too. Bean's going to throw. The slant intended for Thomasburg is incomplete. And a 4th down play yet again. Somebody get the blood pressure monitors ready in Salt Lake. 4th down. Again. Utah needing to make a big play. They've made several on this drive, starting with the onside kick that got them the football. Can they do it again? Bean sends Cox in motion. And they got her. Pittsburgh stands up and makes the play. And the Passion take over on downs with 3:35 left to go. Folks, we'll step aside. You're watching the 2015 championship game. Pittsburgh on offense when you come back. Pittsburgh's ready to go here. Expect a heavy dose of Catone here in this 4th quarter. Horton trying to wrap it up. The handoff. And up the middle, it's Catone for no gain. Timeout, Utah. The Utah Falconz in their 2nd season, first in the IWFL. Neither one of these teams have lost in the last 2 years. Utah has never lost as a franchise. Pittsburgh has a 21-game win streak that started April 12th, 2014. The Passion are the defending champions in the IWFL, winning last year 41-7 over Houston. And Pittsburgh looking to repeat and win back-to-back titles here for their fans. The most titles in the league, Sacramento won 3 straight from 2003 to 2005. This would also give Pittsburgh their 3rd title as an organization. They won in 2007 as well. Horton, Vasquez, Brevard, Peters, Zubik, Prentice, Montgomery, several others, all members of both championship teams. It's Horton under center, the I formation. In motion, it's Baker. Right up the middle. And it's Catone again for a big gain all the way out to the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Abby Burns for the Falcons. .308 left to go. 1st and 10 again. Horton, the I formation. Kimbrough as the fullback. And no gain. Still 1 timeout for Utah. And it looks like the way they're set up right now, they might call it on this next play. Pittsburgh's going to have to run 1 more before the 2-minute warning. Again, stick around. Post-game trophy presentation and all that good stuff is coming up. The Passion trying to win back-to-back titles. And we don't know it, but players like Horton, who have been around for a while, you know, you start to get to the stage of your career where you ask yourself, is this it? Horton, 2 receivers to the near side, but it's all running from this point on. Catone, and she'll be stopped in the backfield. There's a fumble on the play. Utah's celebrating, and I haven't seen a call made yet. It's a fumble, and Utah recovers. Oh, my. 2:05 left to go. They're not dead yet, folks. The Falcons with the football. So now things get interesting. Again, the Falcons not known as a passing team. They've got to try to find a way to create some big plays here. They've got to score and then hope for another onside kick. 1st and 10, though. Bean looking to throw. Bean floats it up. Guess who? It's Cox. She's gone again. 4th touchdown for Cox. And the 2-minute warning is hit on the dot almost, with Utah scoring 6 more. And it's a 5-point game. My goodness. Do you have friends who went away thinking that it was Pittsburgh's game? Call them up. So Utah will go for 2. This is kind of a moot. This really doesn't have much bearing. And Utah with only 1 timeout left. This is the 2-minute warning, essentially. So they kind of lost that extra timeout. Now they're going to kick the extra point. So it'll be Rainey who will kick the extra point. I believe this is her first attempt of the year. And she booms it through. So it's a 4-point game. Pittsburgh 41, Utah 37. 2-minute warning. Onside kick will likely follow. You're watching the 2015 IWFL Championship game. Don't go far, folks. Drama when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you as we await what we assume will be an onside kick for Utah. Just a little interesting note here, checking the last several champions in the league, and they've all come from the East Coast, or the eastern half of the United States. Since 2010, Boston won, followed by Atlanta, Montreal, Carolina, and then Pittsburgh. Before that, it was Midwest that dominated, with Kansas City and Dallas winning. Well, Dallas not really Midwest. So Utah trying to break that mold, and a big onside kick will come up here. As over on that sideline, Utah is drawing up the play. Keisha Cox with another touchdown. She has 4 on the day. Pittsburgh trailed at the half by 4, scored 21 unanswered in the third quarter. Utah trying to hit them right back here in the fourth. So Rainey will take the kick. And it's booted. Bobbled! Diving fit still alive, and finally Pittsburgh falls on it at the 43-yard line. Wow. So 1:55 left to go. 1 timeout left for Utah, and I believe that should do it. Well, Pittsburgh might need to pick up 1 first down, but even if they're forced to punt, there's not going to be a lot of time for Utah here in this one. So Pittsburgh will take over. The last time that we had back-to-back champions in the league was those 3 that I told you about earlier, Sacramento winning them in 03, 04, and 05. Horton, the veteran, hands it off to the rookie Catone. Catone on the outside, 50, 45, 40, and down at the 35, 37-yard line is where they're going to mark her out of bounds. Well, the irony in the season for the Pittsburgh Passion, all the veterans on their team, and it's Catone, the rookie. Hang on, though. A late flag again, and it looks like this one's coming back. So holding is the call, negate that big run. And it's a 1st and 20 instead for Pittsburgh. 1:47 left to go. Utah will likely try to conserve that timeout, but they need stops. Offset I. 2 receivers to the near side. Catone to the 40. Cuts up and gets out to the 44. So Catone got almost all of the holding penalties back. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Under 90 seconds to play. Again, don't go anywhere. Post-game, we will have the championship trophy presentation, and we will also have the MVP presentation. If Pittsburgh hangs on, got to think it'll be Catone. Hand off to Catone again. Catone barrels ahead. Close to midfield. She'll be stopped at the 47-yard line. And with 1:05 left to go, it looks like somebody from Pittsburgh is shaken up. It's Catone who's slow to get up. And is that going to count as a timeout now? No, Utah used their final timeout. So Utah calls their final timeout. Big third down play coming up. Well, we wondered what this game would be like. These two teams blowing away their opponents during the regular season. It's been every bit as close as advertised, although Pittsburgh, with that big third quarter, might be enough to hang on. So if Pittsburgh's unable to get this third down, then the conversation becomes, do they punt? I would think it's a no-brainer that you punt. Amy Fallon averages 46, but she's only punted 3 times on the season. Third down, and they're calling it 7. Horton's in the shotgun. Does she dare throw here? Nope, she's going to line up now under center. And that play, Catone staying alive, running precious seconds, cuts it around the left. Oh my goodness! Gets away from 6 defenders and slides down past the first down marker. Wow. Utah had her dead about 3 different times, and she was able to get away. And now it's time for the victory formation for Pittsburgh. Under a minute to go. Utah has no more timeouts, and the Falconz franchise is going to lose for the first time in its history. The veteran, Horton, with the knee, and they might need to do it one more time. The fans starting to cheer. They're getting ready to celebrate over on the sidelines. Lisa Horton, Sharon Vasquez, Michelle Brevard-Peters, Kim Zubik, Kara Prentice, Tia Montgomery, Olivia Griswold, Kate Sullivan, Veronica Burris, Janice Masters, and head coach Teresa Kahn will all be 3-time champions as the Pittsburgh Passion come into South Carolina, use a 21-0 third quarter, and survive the Falconz. 41-37, Pittsburgh is your champions. So the Pittsburgh Passion win it, 41-37. What a football game. Folks, we're going to step aside here briefly. We're going to go down to the field coming up here in a couple of minutes for the trophy presentation. And again, that will be coming up pretty soon. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. My name's Chris Sheeman, the post-game show. Pittsburgh Passion 10-0 now on the season. Back-to-back champions and the first back-to-back IWFL champions since the Sacramento Sirens back in 2005 as Pittsburgh wins it 41-37. Pittsburgh using a 21-0 third quarter. They went into the half trailing 20-16. And a fantastic job by the veterans, but it was the rookie, Catone, Tara Catone, in her first year, providing the bulk of the offense for Pittsburgh. So while they set up for the national championship trophy presentation, we'll step aside once again. Don't go too far, folks. We'll head down to the field in a couple of minutes.
As the teams get lined up, we'd like you to please direct your attention to IWFL President and CEO Lori Frederick, who will be making the awards presentation.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. We have with us two teams that played the 2015 IWFL World Championship. Utah Falconz, you're an unknown. You came here to introduce everyone to Utah football. What an introduction it was. Let's give these ladies a round of applause. We appreciate the great game you brought here tonight, the tremendous game that we all got to see here. I'm proud to stand on the field with you, and I look forward to seeing you back in 2016. At this time, Kezia Disney is going to present the conference champion plaque to Rocco Jolly. Again, your introduction to Utah football.
You need to say a few words, or you can pass the mic.
Or you can say a few words.
On behalf of the Utah Falconz, I just want to say in 2 short years, we went from an expansion team to playing in the IWFL World Championship. And I couldn't be more prouder to stand with these group of women and coaches.
Due to circumstances out of my control last year, for the first time in 15 years, I wasn't able to make it to the championship. So Pittsburgh Passion, thanks for doing this again. Welcome back. I know y'all fought hard to get back here. You've been around for a while. You've had your ups and downs. And again, just like Utah over here, you left it all on the field. Y'all fought hard. I'd like to introduce the 2015 World Champions, Pittsburgh Passion. Nancy Disney is going to award the World Champion Trophy to Teresa Kahn of the Pittsburgh Passion. Again, give these ladies a round of applause. Congratulations.
Am I doing MVP?
Okay.
Do your speech, then I'll announce MVP and hand it back to you. I'm not going to announce it, but say we're doing.
Okay, gotcha. First of all, from the time we both entered this, I made a phone call, Class Act 75. I'll tell you what, Hokey, did I get it right? Thank you. Thank you. This is the way a championship game should be played, and we thank you. That was exciting for you guys, us, and hopefully everybody else, and we thank you guys for that. I am super blessed to have this amazing team. They are not just great athletes. The thing that I'm most proud of is they are great people, and that says it all. They're the classiest, strongest, spiritual people I've ever met, and I couldn't be prouder of you. League, thank you guys. I don't have a head left, but I thank you guys.
Where is Franco?
Let's get him down here really quick. They're not going to stand here long. You don't want this. Let's get him going.
Beautiful game, beautiful game. Come on. Well, how was that for some football? Oh my God. Whoa. Someone mentioned that, like it's a lot tougher being a fan than being a player. When you're out here watching it, you're like biting your nails and saying, oh my gosh. But first I'd like to congratulate Utah. You guys are a great football team and a lot to be proud of. And this was great football, great football. And the Pittsburgh Passion, the champions. Woo! Back to back, baby. We know how tough it is, but it's something that we know about in Pittsburgh. That's back to back. So congratulations, the coaches, Teresa, wonderful. As I said, it's just a beautiful team, and this was some beautiful football tonight. And thank you, Utah Falconz and Pittsburgh Passion.
Thank you.
We have one last award. We have the World Championship MVP to announce. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the mic back to Teresa Kahn, and she's going to tell you who they've chosen as the MVP.
All right. This one was pretty easy. There was one person on our team that bonded us, united us, and made us better this year. Dr. Tanya Hagan, you're the team MVP. The first person that's going to be taking this home is the person we were going to hand it to that said, you make sure that Dr. Hagan gets her spot. Lisa, you get to have it first, but we're passing it to every single player on this team.
Congratulations again. This is World Championship football. Welcome Utah to the IWFL. We'll see you back next year. Congratulations, Pittsburgh Passion. Thank you, fans, for coming out and supporting them. Thank you.
All right, welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. So the Pittsburgh Passion winning it 41-37 over the Utah Falconz. Folks, a couple of thank yous to pass along. I want to thank everybody with the IWFL. Nobody knows behind the scenes how hard that these folks have worked over the last couple of days to pull this off and make this 2 days of football so important to all of these fans and all of these players. And there's no doubt, I've worked in broadcasting for 14 years, folks, and I see what numbers are for my audiences, the different leagues and the different sports that I work for. And there's no doubt that this is a sport with a market. And championship games like this, you can see a good crowd by Pittsburgh on hand, but really it's the competitiveness and having a team like Utah and Pittsburgh battle on the field in a kind of a game that almost gave me a heart attack is certainly good for the game and the sport, and it's been my honor to cover it, and it's been my honor to get to know so many of you. Thanks for spending the weekend with us, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for us here in Rock Hill. Once again, your final score, Pittsburgh 41, Utah 37. It's the Passion, back-to-back champions. We'll see you again next season, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.